Hey YouTube, Empoleon, Tentacruel, Tropius. I think Tentacruel is one of the safest in this league. Having just built up Tropius, I think it's pretty good too, just given its bulk and sort of coverage, right? Because you have like Poliwrath you do great against as a flyer, and then like other waters you do great against with as grass, and the fly kind of helps too in certain cases. So I'm like, what Pokemon have I not used yet in this meta that I've seen? And it's Empoleon, and I'm just like, I'm so torn about Empoleon because it's so glassy. I think it's overrated in Open Great League. It's just too glassy. In a limited cup, when two of those things are Fairy, which you hit super effective with Steel Wing, and Grass, which you have and grass and water, and like water you resist and grass you're neutralized because of the steel, and you have drill peck. I was like, it has potential. So yes, you are double weak to Lantern, but in a meta with 20 Pokemon, what are you really going to do about that? So excuse me, this gold's not going away. Because there's so many water in this meta, your Steel Wing is resisted. However, your Steel Wing is just basically to get you quicker energy generation for the Hydro Cannons and Drill Pecks, which makes you better overall. That's why Empoleon's ranking went up, because you can now get to those charge moves faster. So the fact that like Steel Wing is resisted by water is fine, because waterfalls would be resisted by grass. So you might as well just get to the charge move faster anyways. So I had decent success with this team again. Like if you watched my video yesterday, I talked about how I went from like 2060 starting yellow. I'm at like 2370 something like right now. And it's a combo of just like a bunch of teams. The team yesterday, the team you're gonna see today with Empoleon. You'll probably see more than one today, because I got like a bunch. I got a few others to showcase too. So I've been doing a pretty good run overall. Empoleon, if you look at my Beyond the Hype on Empoleon, I said it's overrated in the Great League for a bunch of reasons. The main one being, its glassiness. The Drill Peck is a decent move, but like it's not an amazing second move. Steel Wing is good to get to Hydro Cannon faster, which is nice, but like the fact that you have a steel typing, there's so many fighters out there, which is kind of like, if you didn't have the steel typing, would be better to a certain extent. One of the strengths I said of Empoleon is that steel typing. So I'm so torn with the steel typing. I don't even care about the water typing per se. I care more about the steel typing, because in the Open Great League, well, let's talk about this league first. Your steel typing with the water typing makes you very, very difficult to go against in this limited meta, right? Because you resist Fairy, you resist water, and you neutralize the grass weakness, which really makes Empoleon strong in this meta. In Open Great League, you have so many resistances. From everything from flying to poison and stuff like that, which really makes you strong just on a typing standpoint. You're half steel, and unfortunately, steel is like a huge problem in the Open Great League right now, given the meta, and that meta being a lot of fighters and a decent amount of ground at the same time. So between its glassiness and like adding those couple of fighting weaknesses and stuff like that, I don't think it has a ton of play in Open Great League. However, this is obviously Spring Cup, so it does have play. Again, Tentacruel everywhere resisting the poison. Neutralize a bunch of water Pokemon, like resist water Pokemon, neutralize grass Pokemon. So it's pretty, like, even in overheat, at least you neutralize with the water steel, but that would probably one-shot you because you're so glassy. So definitely has play in this meta. Like, get this drill pick off, and I don't know how much energy it has, but the faster charging moves here. What am I doing? Yeah. I remember this. So half the time I play, You may be wondering, what the heck was that? Why didn't you throw a charge move? Why were you trying to farm down? I was trying to farm down because I thought they had a shield left. And the reason I thought they have a shield left is because half the time I play very distracted. I think this was one of my, let's just actually stop and try and talk about this one, because I remember winning this matchup and really getting out of a brutal situation. So Lantern is going to kill Tentacruel and Empoleon. I save swap here, get hit with a poison with Icy Wind, right? So this is going to really hurt. So I think my only win condition at this moment was like, I need to double shield. I need to shield and try to grab 2 shields. Right? And then I'm like, okay, that didn't work. So I'm like, okay, now I have to commit to the 2 shield to flip switch here. But flip switch doesn't matter. But I'm like, Tropius is probably one of my only win conditions against Lantern. So I'm going to immediately swap into this. They eventually come in with their Lantern. So I have 1 and a bit of move on Tropius. I'm going to lower their defense a ton, and hopefully they let me throw another move, because if they let me throw another move, this is actually huge, because resisted or not, I'm a shadow, their defense is lowered, that puts them extremely low. And so now they try to like farm down, but they didn't realize like how much that's doing. I don't know why they went Thunderbolt. They didn't need to. I can now just come in here, get that off. They're gonna have to throw the Shadow Ball, or else they probably could have farmed up a bit more, but now they're throwing. I'm gonna get it off anyways. Get it off, and now I will have a move on the Tropius to win. So that's like the mid game there. That's the type of stuff that like you need to think about. It's like, okay, I need to try and grab 2 shields from this thing so that I have a better chance with Tentacruel. It's like, okay, they're not letting me grab 2 shields. I need to flip switch and save energy on this thing. Like, those are the types of things that you need to think about when running like against a tough team. I forget what else I was saying though. I forget my other thought. Maybe it'll come back to me. Loose CMP here, so I'm going to either go down or probably go down, because now I can just get ahead on Air Slash. Yeah. And they come in Dugong. Dugong's a little tough. Let's see if I just go straight Scald. You should be going straight Scald on this thing in most situations. And here's why. They're not going to shield this. There's no way they're not going to shield anything. Why would you throw Acid Spray versus throwing Scald? So let me just bring up Tentacruel here as a shadow. And what do we got? So Dugong. Okay. If you are against a Dugong that has shields or not, no shields, they're not going to shield anything, right? So if you do a poison jab is 6 damage, which is 3.8% of Dugong's health. You throw the Acid Spray, which does nothing, 16 damage. But then those 6 damage turn into 9 damage. So you essentially just upped your damage by 50%. So that's not inconsequential, but still, even upping it 50% only does 9 damage, which is 5.7%. So you're not going to really get much out of that. So for me, I think the 16 damage on Acid Spray is just not worth it compared to the Scald. And Scald does 41 damage. So you're still getting those 6 damage, but you're getting 41 damage on the Scald. And actually, if you do Tentacruel versus Dugong in the 0 shields, if you just have Poison Jab Acid Spray, you actually, I think you win actually both scenarios in the ones. In the 1-0. Yeah, you're going to win both anyways. What about in the 1-1? Probably lose both no matter what. No, actually you win just going straight Scald, but I'm guessing that's not the case with Acid Spray. Is the case with Acid Spray. Interesting. You beat Dugong in the 1s in both scenarios, whether you go Acid Spray or Scald. That's actually quite surprising to me. In the 1v1 shield, it says poison jab, acid spray will leave you with 9 health, and scald only will leave you with 5 health. So it says you win both scenarios. Like I said, Dugong. I get that Ice Shard is resisted and you're doing neutrals with the jabs. And I guess the offset is these drill runs do 56%, but if you have a shield, they need to get to 3, and by that time the poison jabs add up. Interesting. That is interesting, actually. So I don't think my point's not valid, even though both shield scenarios win. I am double weak to ground here too. There's not a ton of Quagsires in here, so I think this is one of the weaknesses you just have to deal with. 6 damage, 15 or 18 or whatever it was for acid spray, and then get you the 9, so it gets you an extra 3 damage. Basically, you have to take the difference between the 18 damage on the acid spray versus the, 42 resisted on the thing. What's that? 26? So 26 different in damage. If you're only getting 3 additional damage per poison jab, what I just say? I forget. I just forgot the number. What I said. 42, 18, 24, 3 is 8. You essentially need 8 poison jabs to then catch up to the scald poison jab combo, right? So that's quite a lot of poison jabs. So let me repeat that because I know it was a bit confusing. Poison jabs do... I already closed PV Poke. Poison jabs do like 4 damage. Or 6 damage. The difference in scald versus acid spray is about 24 damage. The difference in the boosted, like your opponent's defense lowered poison jabs and non is 3. So you get 3 extra damage per poison jab if you throw acid spray versus if you don't. So the difference between the acid spray and scald damage is essentially 8 poison jabs worth. So that's the difference just in that sort of neutral matchup. You need to throw an additional 8 poison jab just to catch up to the damage that you would have if you just threw scald and regular poison jabs. So that's interesting. Like that, those are the types of things you need to think about. Of like, does this make they're unlikely to shield a scald anyways. How long is this matchup going to be? Will I throw another 8 plus poison jabs in this matchup? Right. So it could be like, it may just make more sense to throw, depending on how low they are, a scald and like 4 or 5 poison jabs may take them out. So like it takes an 8 to get there. So these are the types of things that like make the game kind of interesting. Like these different shield scenarios. And someone was, what was the move for Alligator? When I first came out with for Alligator, I said I want to use Crunch because there's so many waters and I want a neutral move for some of these Pokemon. And someone in the chat said, a resisted Hydro does basically the same amount, if not more, than neutral Crunch, right? And it's because Hydro's such a hard-hitting move that even at 67%, you still do more damage with like Crunch. Now, Crunch obviously will allow you hit super effective against Psychics and stuff, so it does give you more coverage. But like resisted Hydro is probably still the best way to go. So it's just these like little sort of like details here in the game that are just like, oh, that's kind of interesting. That's actually kind of what makes the game a little fun. Is stuff like that where you can like, it is a bit of strategy, right? It's knowing typings and damage and stuff like that. So I like this is part of the game that actually keeps me coming back. It does not keep me coming back is Spring Cup. I'll keep pumping out the videos, but I know I appreciate those of you who are watching, but Just a rough week. We'll chalk it up to that. A 3 typing meta for 2 weeks straight is just something. Is something. Anyways, that is it. Probably a video this afternoon just because I have so many of these. So probably check out this afternoon. And then, yeah, that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.